Hey guys, Gary for another legal topic for you. For years, people have reached out to me and asked me questions on how the MLS and their community handles things, why they do it that way, what's the rule. And so I thought it'd be a good time to let's just sit down with somebody in the know on the MLS who could tell us why things are done the way they are they problems and the rationale behind some of this stuff. So this week I sat down with Matthew Thrift. He is a Greenville broker in charge with C. Dan Joyner up at the Pleasantburg Greer offices. But he also was the president of the Greater Greenville Association of Realtors. He was a vice president there. He's a former president as well, which has a role there. So he's been on that board for years. And Greenville has its own MLS. It's managed by the Realtors Association. And they also have a board that also, or a committee that deals with the MLS. And Matthew was also the president or the chairman of that committee. So he's got extensive knowledge of MLS due to being the chairman on the committee, as well as being on that committee, but also being the president of the Realtors Association up there. So I sat down with him and we had a fantastic conversation, lasted probably about 20, 25 minutes. And that's what this week's podcast is. We talked about, what is going on with pocket listings. How does MLS handle a pocket listing? How about the coming soons? Or what is the issue with that? How is that dealt with? Is wholesaling an issue with the MLS? Can you do it? How do you list properties? The other topic that was very hot for a long time in Columbia seems to have settled down, but still an issue is agent credit. Who gets credit for the closing? Is it the listing agent or the team leader, or is it multiple people, or is it everybody on the team? How did they come up with that rule that it appears that even Columbia now is mimicking? Are you allowed to use the stats from the MLS to tout yourself over another agent? And if so, how do you do that? And we even got into issues about Zillow and an array of other issues. So if you love to listen to a good podcast, it's something that's going to give you a lot of valuable information on your craft. This podcast this week is very good for you. So click the call to action button right down there, or down to, I think it's at the very bottom. You also have a link there for our podcast, but this is going to be a great podcast for you this week. Also, be ready next week. I have a national guest speaker from Inman Connect. Tom Ferry apparently loves this guy as well. So the guy I've got coming in next week, I'll probably do a video before he comes on to tell you more about it. I'm going to save it just to pique your interest. But the video next week is going to be, or the podcast next week is also going to be off this chart too. So this one's going to be a real good one. Take a listen to it. Don't forget, like us, share us, and subscribe to us, as well as sharing it with all our agents. Just tell everybody you know about it so we can keep growing this thing, so I can get more of these great speakers on. Y'all take care. Have a great week.